Stop eating bananas. They are not good for you. Bananas are not good for you. Stop eating them.
Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. So this Will Bananas Make You Fat video by Ken Berry MD is just a priceless gem of misinformation. And I have to give kudos to Ken Berry because he did something really difficult here. Pretty much everything he said in this video about bananas was wrong. I mean, that's really hard to do if you think about it. And actually it's not that hard because he referred to absolutely no science, no studies. It was just as if he was sitting there for 8 odd minutes just making stuff up. And instead of relying on science, relying on his authority as a medical doctor so that people would hopefully believe all this nonsense. So what I'm going to do is go through this video, and I'm not going to make fun of him. I'm not going to attack him as a person. We're going to look through his misinformation, his lies, and show what the actual truth is. So let's start off with his first criticism about bananas.
Back in the original banana form, they were a very short, squat, fat little fruit with huge seeds. They were not sweet at all. The habit of human beings, when we start breeding something, we want to make it bigger, prettier, and sweeter.
He's referring here to the process known as selective breeding, and he did get one thing sort of right, that bananas are the result of selective breeding, but that's not unique to bananas. Virtually all foods that humans eat now are the result of selective breeding. I'm talking about plants, I'm talking about cows, chickens. The animals that he promotes eating are the result of selective breeding. So it's completely unfair to call out bananas for being selectively bred.
Bananas are, here's the macros for bananas, and this will pretty much clear it up for most everyone who knows about macros and wants to eat the proper macros for the human body.
All right, get ready. This is good.
A banana is 23% carbs, okay? It's 1% protein and 0 fat.
He's got so much wrong here, I don't even know where to start. First, let's talk about his math. We're talking about percent, of 100. 23 plus 1 plus 0. That doesn't even come close to adding up to 100. And he said bananas are 0% fat. I mean, there's no fruit that I'm aware of that has no fat in it. This is so easily fact-checked. Dr. Berry, all he had to do was go to chronometer.com, search for bananas, and it gives you the macronutrient breakdown. How many percent of calories come from each macro? Here, like nearly 93% from carbs, and not 3.2% from fat, and 4.2% from protein. That's unfortunate that this medical doctor seems to not truly understand how macronutrient ratios work and seems to have this incorrect belief that bananas contain no fat, as we'll see, which biases his other misguided beliefs about bananas.
One of the things we love to mash up for our baby is banana, and we think we're just giving our baby a health food straight from nature. And what you're really giving your baby is a sugar coma and 0 fat.
No, just do the math, bro. 3.2% calories from fat is not equal to 0 fat.
If you want potassium in your diet, don't eat a banana. So if you want potassium, take those bananas and put them back where you got them and get some pork or beef or chicken.
Oh, really? So if I got you right, you're telling people to put down the safe fruit, which no major health organization that I'm aware of has ever come out and said that they're linked to some of the leading causes of death, and instead you're telling people to consume group 1 and 2A carcinogens.
And I said, look, bananas are a terrible source of potassium, but they're a great source of sugar, right? So why would you want to eat a sugar coma banana when you could be eating an avocado instead, which has just as much, if not a little more potassium? Spinach has more potassium per ounce. Mushrooms have more potassium. Please stop the madness. Please break this myth.
So Dr. Berry thinks he's being a mythbuster here, spreading some new information about bananas not being the great source of potassium that people seem to believe them to be. I made a video back in 2016 telling people the very same thing. Our own government, the USDA, has a national nutritional database where you can look up how much potassium or how much of any nutrients in any food. Well, let's look up the top foods that contain potassium. Well, on the first page of results here, the top 25 results, no bananas. Well, bananas are not in the top 100 even, or even the top 1,000. You have to go all the way to the 65th page to ranking number like 1610. That's pitiful. Bananas are not even the top 1600 highest potassium containing foods. Here we are, bananas, right next to such potassium powerhouses like catfish and squash.
Beet greens have more potassium. A sweet potato, which I love to slice up really thin, raw, and use as a chip to dip my tuna salad or my chicken salad or whatever kind of little thrown together salad we have.
Wait a second here. Bananas are bad, but sweet potatoes are good? I mean, by your own standards, sweet potatoes should rank even worse. They have a higher percentage of calories from carbs than bananas, and they have half the fat that bananas do.
Don't cook it, eat it raw. The fiber virtually cancels the sugar.
So the fiber in sweet potatoes cancels out the sugar, but the fiber in bananas does not? I mean, they're both whole food plants. What magical property does sweet potatoes have that bananas don't? So let's compare. Let's go to Chronometer and look at the ratios of fiber to sugar for these two plants. So bananas, for one banana, you have 3 grams of fiber and about 14.5 grams of sugar. So that's a 3 to 14 ratio. And for sweet potatoes, you have double the fiber, 6.37 grams, and roughly the same amount of sugar. So you have a 6 to 14 ratio. So according to him, that 6 to 14 ratio cancels out sugar, but a 3 to 14 ratio doesn't. I'd like to see some science validating that. Again, I think you're just making stuff up.
There is no nutrition in a banana that you can't get better from a better source.
Funny, that's what we say here all the time about animal products.
Your kids love the taste of bananas. They also love the taste of Pop-Tarts and Fruit Loops. That doesn't mean that you should give them to them.
Are you saying bananas are the same as Pop-Tarts and Fruit Loops?
Right? A banana is just as bad.
Oh, really? Please, bananas, a whole food plant, are just as bad as these processed foods. I mean, this is just completely ridiculous and so easy to disprove. Let's look at the fiber content of bananas. Remember, bananas had about a 3 to 14 ratio of fiber to sugars, while Pop-Tarts have almost no fiber, about half of a gram, a 0.5 to 14 ratio.
The average banana has 3 teaspoons of sugar. Like granulated table sugar?
No, not like granulated table sugar. Bananas are a whole food plant.
You might as well just give your son or your daughter 3 teaspoons of sugar and say, there you go, there was a nutritious snack, now go play.
No, it's not the same, and it's absurd that I have to even explain this to a medical doctor. Let's look at the nutritional profiles for granulated table sugar here, and you'll see a bunch of zeros. Doesn't have any vitamins, any minerals, no amino acids. And let's compare that to bananas, which are not devoid of vitamins, minerals, fats, and amino acids. I mean, trying to compare the nutritional and health value of bananas to table sugar is just complete nonsense, complete misinformation.
Fat that your baby needs to build that large human brain that we all have and that you want your baby to have the best brain he or she possibly can, the banana does not help brain development at all.
Again, complete BS. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics warns against these fad low-carb diets. It said several fad diets have recommended the reduction or even elimination of carbohydrates from our everyday diets. But are such low-carb diets good for a child? And the next paragraph says, the preferred fuel for active brains and growing muscles, carbohydrates, a diverse nutrient group which includes cereals and milk, rice and beans, potatoes, peas, corn, and look here, fruits and fruit juices. So if anything, Ken Berry needs to get some carbs into his brain right away.
All it does is elevate your baby's blood sugar and spike their insulin.
So you're saying if you feed bananas to an otherwise healthy, non-diabetic baby, bananas will make that baby become diabetic. Again, this is complete nonsense. First of all, let's look at my personal case here. I've been having banana smoothies now for maybe 4 or 5 years, and here are the results of my most recent blood test. I'm far from even being pre-diabetic. Well, my hemoglobin A1C test says otherwise. I'm in the normal range, and that's a test that screens for diabetes, as well as my glucose test. Once again, as always, within the normal range. I guess carbs aren't that bad for you. But perhaps I'm just a genetic banana eating freak of nature. I can get away with it. Well, let's look at other people who consume more carbohydrates. I'm talking about vegans. We're eating plants which are naturally high in carbs. So in the Adventist Health Study 2, they compared the rates of diabetes between vegans and other non-vegans in their Seventh-day Adventist religion, and the vegans had the lowest rates of diabetes despite eating more plants. And remember, this guy's video is about bananas making you fat. And again, the evidence from the Adventist Health Study 2 says otherwise. The vegans had the lowest body mass indexes of the group. And again, on a personal level, I've been eating bananas, like I said, 5 odd years now, every day practically in my smoothies, and have a healthy BMI of 23.2, and I'm quite athletic. I'm on no pharmaceutical medications. I have healthy blood tests that I put up here regularly for you all to see. Tasty. Anyway, I think I'm living proof, and so are so many other healthy people I know, especially vegans who eat bananas all the time. We're not getting obese, we're not getting diabetes, we're not killing our babies, not getting heart disease. Even talked about that too. I didn't have time to cover every crazy piece of nonsense that Dr. Berry brought up. And again, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. Seems like he's charming. And if you want to keep believing what he's saying, if you don't care about facts or truth, that's on you. I know where I stand on that issue. So when I leave your questions and comments down below, let me know if for some bizarre, crazy reason you got obese or diabetic from bananas, or your baby got diabetes. And in fact, I don't think I'm going to see too many of those comments. Let me know the opposite of eating more whole food plants, more fruit. You were able to cure some health issues and lose weight and get off diabetes meds. Share that all down below. Show Dr. Berry what's really going on, the truth about it, rather than his make-believe fantasy about bananas. So share this video with people who are deathly afraid of fruit because of nonsense videos like this. Like this video. Until next time, guys, eat your fruit. And remember, it doesn't suck being vegan.
Got me spinning circles, spinning round and round, spinning.